Getting enough sleep and rest is the key to changing your life and unlocking your potential. And this is something that has been so evident in my life recently, because throughout the last term of school that I just had, I was lacking sleep. Very much so, because I had each and every day I had to get up early because I had training or I had choir or different things like that. And then at night I'd have training that went to like say 10:30, right? Like that's the time that I get home. So I had these different things and I was lacking sleep a lot. And the thing is, on the weekend, on Saturdays, I had an early game in the morning, then a game in the afternoon. And then on the Sunday, I was working, right? So my whole week was bombarded. But to be completely honest, there were actually times to gain a bit more sleep. But because I was really unfocused at that time, I would go and scroll and give into these negative habits and give into lust and things like that. And I would waste away that potential. I would waste away that time. I would end up going to bed late and I'd get even less sleep, and then I'd be tired for the next day, and I was not performing at my peak potential, nowhere near it at all, because I did not have any sleep. Okay, and this has been sort of the cornerstone of what I've started to do in these holidays now, because immediately from the very moment that I got that extra sleep, in fact yesterday I kind of slept from, what time did I go to bed? I went to bed at like say 11:30 maybe, and I literally woke up at like 11:40 a.m. the next day. I know, terrible. I never want to do that again, really, to wake up at 11:40, right? Normally I'd be waking up at like around 7, okay? Like in the holidays as well, maybe I'm looking to maybe wake up at around 8, at 11:40 in the morning. That is mental, right? But that just showed me how much my body needed rest. And after that restorative sleep, I felt so great, right? I felt really just well rested, able to go and combat the day. But because of, obviously, I kind of messed up my circadian rhythm and I wasn't able to move throughout. Like, I didn't really have that set sleep schedule. Obviously, I felt a little bit drowsy. I felt a little bit like not necessarily tired, but because I had enough sleep, but I just felt a little bit off, right? But I still got that sleep. And that's what set the foundation now. And then I've got my sleep schedule kind of back and running again. And I'm feeling so much greater today in general, right? My sleep has been an integral factor into allowing me to feel great again, to feel purposeful, to feel connected to God again, and be able to seek Him throughout the day, to actually be able to control my days. Because when I lacked sleep, I didn't have control over my days. I would kind of move throughout the day, kind of do whatever. I would just move throughout life kind of aimlessly, because I wasn't able to just focus and be in the present moment, because my mind was elsewhere, my mind was tired, I just wasn't able to think. Okay, even in math, like I'm doing these like really hard, like this integration and just like some pretty crazy stuff, right? And I just wasn't able to think at all, right? Like I'd look at that page and I was not focused, nowhere near reaching my full potential. And the problem with that is that I'm trying to move towards my goals and my dreams, and in essence, in like a sense, I'm actually doing that. Okay, because I'm doing these, I'm studying a little bit, right? I'm going to football, I'm practicing my piano, things like that. But I'm not actually there. I'm not actually going and doing what I can do. Okay, when I'm at football, I'm not actually like, I'm feeling like I'm on another planet, really, because I'm so tired. Okay, but I'm not actually able to go and focus on the things that I want to improve my game. I'm not actually able to focus on my finishing or focus on a little bit of dribbling. Okay, as well as that for school, and I'm doing those questions. A lot of the time, I'm not doing them under time condition, which is something that I need to work on. I'm not able to go and set a timer and do it in that time, do the questions quickly, because I am so tired. Okay, so even though I'm moving kind of towards my goals, I'm doing some positive things, I'm not actually moving towards my goals like I really want to. But again, as soon as I've got that rest, as soon as I've got that sleep, and now I'm trying to set up my circadian rhythm, I've already felt so much better. My life has already been so much more transformed, and I'm feeling so much greater once again. So just started today. Again, I know it's difficult because, like, for me, in that sort of period of my life, I didn't really have time to sleep. But I did. And I did not use them. And it's very difficult because I'm so tired, right? I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm fried from the week. And then I want to get some sleep, but I can't even do some simple things like brushing my teeth and going and doing my skincare Like before bed, that's what would happen all the time. And they're the last two things I had to do. And then a bit of prayer, a bit of Bible, and then I'm out. But I couldn't even do that. And then, so you know what my brain would do, because I was so tired, I couldn't even do anything. I'd just go on that scroll. And instead of going to bed at like 9:30 like I wanted to, 2 hours later, I'd go to bed at 11:30. And I have to wake up for my football game the next day. And the whole thing repeated. It got even worse, in fact. But I could have actually gone to bed that little bit earlier and woken up and actually felt a lot better through that restorative sleep. Okay, but through my silliness, right, through not actually going and maximizing the time that I had and maximizing the opportunity that had presented itself to be able to actually go to bed early, I wasted it. And that set me so far back, and literally I suffered for like a week and a half without getting enough sleep. And now I'm here, getting enough sleep now, feeling so much greater, but also regretting that night. Because that night could have been transformative. If I had gone that night and gone in that 10 hours, okay, by going to bed at like 9:30 and waking up at 7:30, it could have been great. But instead I went to bed at like 11:30 and woke up at like 7:30. And I got 8 hours, which on paper it looks good, right? But because I'd been so sleep deprived, I needed a greater length of sleep to get me back going again. But if I had gotten like 10 hours, been able to sort of reset, then I could have gotten 8 hours again, and then maybe 8.5, 9 hours perhaps. I could have gotten that sort of sleep and I would have felt great. But because I got that sort of 8 hours from then, I kept on getting those 8 hours, being on already like sleep deprived, like already being sleep deprived. That's when I just never was able to be at that full potential. I wasn't really functioning properly, and in fact my life felt pretty empty. Even though I was trying to seek purpose, I was so tired I just didn't know what was going on. So I just really encourage you just to find that sleep, find that ideal sleep that you need. Okay, a lot of people say 7 to 9 hours, even experts, you know, Andrew Huberman, things like that, people like that, sorry. But just find what works for you. The sleep schedule, the sleep times, okay? You don't have to wake up at like 4 a.m. like all the, you know, everyone says, like all the gurus online perhaps, but find what works for you. Maybe waking up early does. Maybe waking up at a decent time does. For me, I'd say probably never wake up like really late. But if you're waking up at around 7 to 8 and going to bed like, you know what I mean, at 9, 10, perhaps that's fine. Or if you want to go to bed a bit earlier and wake up a bit earlier, that's fine as well. Whatever works for you and whatever suits your lifestyle. But just make sure to do the positive things. Okay, like before bed, trying to limit screen time. Even if you want to grab some blue light blocking glasses, that's helped me as well. And just having red lights in my room, even in my bathroom, I've kind of got a light from Temu, something like nice and cheap, but that's allowed me to actually just have a greater sleep, because I'm not seeing blue light, I'm not seeing this light that kind of cause my body to wake up, and instead I'm moving towards that idea of going to sleep. Okay, because, you know, part of our like neurology, right, is that from caveman times we saw fire, we saw that red light, that orangey, reddy, yellow sort of light, right? And that would indicate, that would signify that we was about to go to bed. It was time to go to bed. So that's kind of from like all the way back then, those caveman times, that it's, yeah, that we need to go and have that red light. So that's something that I've done. Okay, blue light blocking glasses too. Even just limiting screens. Okay, I know a lot of people say to eat like earlier, like an hour before bed, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours even. For me, sometimes I eat right before bed because I've got training after and I kind of have to fuel before bed. So that's kind of something that I don't really do. But if you want to, and if it helps, then that's good. Like having a nice dark room, okay, having a quiet room, having a cool room, and then having a sort of night ritual to settle down, to go to bed, preparing everything for the next day. And then make sure to get up, and when you get up, to like not snooze or anything, to get sunlight in your eyes, or just be outside getting that natural light, to do a bit of like get moving a little bit, even like the positive habits like meditation, just to get you awake, get your circadian rhythm going. And that's going to allow you to just feel better, have greater sleep, and it's going to allow you to just improve your life. And when you do that, when you get that sleep going, because it is super important.
Yo, I cannot fail if the Lord's with me. No. Same way if the Lord's with you. Exodus 14 verse 14. I need to be still when the Lord comes through. That's true. Not gonna be easy. Push through the pain like a wisdom tooth. For real. He don't leave us alone. He gave us man's the spirit.